He was born a prince, and for 65 years he lived a life of royalty and privilege. But on the 30th of October, Britain's King Charles stripped his younger brother Andrew of his titles and kicked him out of his mansion on the Windsor estate. The readout from Buckingham Palace was terse. Prince Andrew will now be known as Andrew Mounbatten Windsor. The palace added that King Charles had begun the formal process to remove all his brother's titles. The move comes after weeks of intense pressure to take action over Andrew's alleged links with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Andrew is the second son of the late Queen Elizabeth II and the younger brother of King Charles. He was married to Sarah Ferguson, who is no longer known as the Duchess of York after the prince recently gave up his title of Duke of York. They have two daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. He also served in the Royal Navy for 22 years and worked as a helicopter pilot during the 1982 Falklands War. He later took command of the mine countermeasures ship HMS Cottesmore. His military roles were suspended after he withdrew from public duties in 2019. Andrew has been under mounting pressure recently over his alleged links with Jeffrey Epstein. There were also renewed sexual abuse allegations through a posthumous memoir by one of Epstein's victims, Virginia Joffrey. Andrew reportedly first met Epstein in 1999 through the late financier's then-girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. In 2008, Epstein was convicted in the United States for procuring a minor for prostitution and sentenced to 18 months in prison. Even after his conviction, Epstein and Andrew were seen walking together in 2010 in New York City's Central Park. Andrew later said this meeting marked the end of their friendship. However, UK court documents made public earlier this year show that an email was sent to Epstein in February 2011 from a member of the British royal family, believed to be Andrew. It read, "Keep in close touch and we'll play some more soon." In August 2021, Joffrey filed a case against Andrew, accusing him of sexually assaulting her 3 times, twice when she was 17 years old. In her memoir, Nobody's Girl, published recently, Joffrey had written that Epstein had trafficked her and forced her to have sex with Andrew on 3 occasions. A joint letter by Joffrey and Andrew's lawyers submitted to a US court in February 2022 revealed that both sides had reached an out-of-court settlement to resolve her civil lawsuit. Andrew, without admitting any wrongdoing, agreed to pay an undisclosed amount. In January 2022, Queen Elizabeth II stripped Andrew of his military titles and royal patronages after he failed to have Joffrey's 2021 civil case dismissed. First of all, Andrew loses all his titles. This includes Prince, Duke of York, Earl of Inverness, Baron Killyleagh. He will no longer have the right to be called His Royal Highness. The honours of Order and the Garter and Knight Grand Cross of the Victorian Order will also be removed. Andrew will also lose his residence at the Royal Lodge. The most talked about alternative had been the smaller Frogmore Cottage. But that would still have left Andrew in Windsor, living in somewhat style among the royal family. And even though Frogmore Cottage is controlled by the king, it is still technically Crown Estate property, and that could have raised more questions about public subsidies. But going to Sandringham in Norfolk means that he'll be living on a private royal estate. Any costs are going to be picked up by the king himself. It's also further away from the public eye. Sandringham, which is spread over 8,000 acres, was once a beloved retreat of Queen Elizabeth and is now a favourite of King Charles and Queen Camilla. Andrew will retain 2 perks of being a royal. He remains in the line of succession. He is 8th in line for the throne according to the Buckingham Palace, after Prince William, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis, Prince Harry, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. To remove him from the line of succession would require an act of British Parliament. Moreover, it would also require the consent of 14 other countries where Charles is king, including in Canada. Andrew is also still a Councillor of State on paper. Councillors of State are authorised to carry out most of the official duties of the sovereign. But Andrew won't be able to act in the role because of a 2022 law that states that Councillors of State are only working members of the royal family. Andrew will be shunned from events and public life. He already isn't invited to royal events and his presence is limited to private family functions such as funerals or memorials. But many want further action to be taken against him. There's even talk of a private prosecution against Andrew over accusations of sexual offences and misconduct in public office. It's clear that just disappearing from the public eye won't erase the mess that Andrew has put the British royal family in.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.